Get set.
Hi, losing weight. No, okay.
Cut. Lose the weight with Elizabeth.
Take three.
Take three.
Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth.
Yay!
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth, your hostess tonight, and every night, I guess, that I'm here. Tonight, we're talking about food rules. When you go shopping, what's the one thing you shouldn't do? The first thing you should think about.
Never go hungry.
Never go to the grocery store hungry. I've bought so many bad things going to the grocery store hungry, really thinking that I would be able to just have a little bit. And it's never true. You know, that little container of hummus is 500 calories.
Really?
I could eat that whole thing.
I didn't know that.
I know. And I thought the white bean one would be less calories. It's 900 calories. It's little.
It is little.
It's little. So anyway, but never go hungry. But one of the things that happens to me when I go grocery shopping is I don't really want to run into anyone when I go grocery shopping at all, because they'll look in my basket to see what I'm going to have. And I just do not, because they'll go, Elizabeth, why are those in your basket? And I will be like, oh, someone put them in there. I certainly didn't. I'll give them to the cashier, which is just a lie. Just a lie. And then I will get to the cashier and I'll still be fooling myself, thinking, you know, I can't give them to the cashier because I really want them, whatever bad thing it is. And then I'll buy them and I'll act as if it's just such an inconvenience that I now have to buy this bad food. And then I'll take it home and eat all of it.
Yeah.
So you can't buy, if you don't buy it, you can't eat it. So that's the start. All right. Don't buy anything your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize as food. Wouldn't your great-grandmother be surprised by our grocery stores?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness. Like anything that's orange that shouldn't be. Like if you had a carrot or an orange or a sweet potato, all good stuff, right? But what's orange that shouldn't be? Well, you shouldn't have them anyway, but...
Those cheese crackers.
Cheese
Cheetos.
Cheetos. Yeah, right?
Right.
So those are things that you show. If your great-grandmother didn't have it, we really should not be eating it, because what is it? It's processed food.
Doritos, would that count?
Doritos would be, yes.
Doritos.
On your
Cheese Whiz.
fingers, Doritos.
Doritos.
Right.
The cheese whiz, the fake cheese.
The
All
fake
right,
cheese,
in the
yeah,
can.
yeah, right out of the can. Okay, yeah, no good, Bob. Okay, avoid products containing ingredients that cannot be found in the ordinary kitchen. Okay, that means there's, like, if you look at packaging and you start to read what goes on in the packages, you can't even understand some of the stuff. I mean, I was reading a rice thing today to the girls in another meeting, and I have to say, it had stuff in there I'd never heard of in my entire life. So, better still, if you can't pronounce the ingredients, you don't want to eat them.
Right.
That's mine. Don't buy anything that lists sugar in its first 3 ingredients. Do you know in that rice dish thing, there was high fructose corn syrup? That right here says, don't buy any of that. If it has high fructose corn syrup in it, don't buy any. And I go to a couple schools, and I see the kids, I can't believe how much heavier they are, and it's just because of processed food. And you know, my meals that I cook that are really healthy, they don't take me a long time. I mean, we don't have to spend hours planning and preparing, because it takes a long time to make one of those rice dishes. But it's,
right.
You know what? It's 220 calories for a third of a cup. A third of a cup. I was looking to see if I had my cups out.
Right.
This is like this little tiny amount. You cannot imagine 220 calories. I would much rather have a baked potato for 100 calories than have that. So don't buy anything that lists sugar in the first 3 ingredients. So you have to read labels. And no high fructose corn syrup. Not even a little. I don't care if it's the last thing on the list. And why do they put it in everything? I just do not understand that.
I don't understand that either.
I don't get that at all. Shop the outer area, the periphery of the supermarket. But aren't those supermarkets clever? Because what do they put across from paper towels?
What?
Cookies
Oh.
or tinfoil crackers across the line where you could go up and you want to say you want to get tomatoes, you want to make sauce, say it's all cookies and treats, tons of them, because now it's impulse buying, and if you're hungry to start out with, it's really a mess.
Well, definitely the shortcakes are near the strawberries.
Right, exactly.
The fresh biscuits.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's so true. They're right there together. Thankfully, the whipped cream isn't there.
Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes, they'll put a little bucket with ice and they'll put 3 or 4 in there, like some of the smaller
Look
stores.
how outraged I am. What? But you're right. I never thought about that, Michelle. That they will put the shortcake right with it. And that shortcake is not the shortcake of your youth.
No.
No.
None of the food of your youth that was like fattening, certain crackers and certain cookies, they're not the cookies of your youth, even though it's the same name. Now they've figured out how to make them last longer. Listen, if something has it's 2015, right? If it has a date of when it's going to expire and it's like 2020, I am not buying it. You shouldn't buy it either. It's ridiculous. If it comes from a plant, you could buy it. But if it's made in a plant, I wouldn't buy it. If it's made in a plant, remember that. First of all, here's the thing that makes me feel a little bit happier about this is because what is allowed to be in the food are rodent hairs and feces, and there's a percentage. I know. I'm hoping I'm making all of you very sick to even think about eating that food. But it's allowed. There's you could have 6 rodent hairs in that rice package and 3 pieces of whatever. Yeah, and just that's ridiculous. So I really just rather make my own food. When did it get so bad that I couldn't just make my own rice and it would taste 1,000,000 times better? I don't eat rice, but what I'm saying. If it says light or low fat or no fat on the package, just put it down. You should really have the best that there is and have just a smaller portion of it. Now, I remember one time going to a restaurant and we wanted to have a little appetizer with our wine. And they had fresh cheese and tapenades and relishes, and they were all from farmers markets. You were there.
Yes, I was.
And so I'll tell them. And it came out, and there were 3 of us eating, and it came out on this little platter, and it just really, honestly, like this much cheese, and then a little tapenade, like olive tapenade, and then another kind of cheese, and then some olive stuff, and it was just a beautiful little platter, but it was very little, very French, it seemed to me. These little tiny things, right? We did not finish that platter because the cheese was so rich. The relishes were so rich. I think there was a fig relish or something. It was so rich that you didn't need a lot. So when you go and you buy cheese at over in the dairy section rather than going into the deli, into that area where they have the specialty cheeses, look at those. Or better yet, Go to the farmers markets. You know, we have one right here, Harvest Brass City Farm Market. If you have their feta cheese, you will never, ever eat feta cheese from a grocery store again. It's just so delicious and not as salty. See, that's part of the problem. So and then we were talking today, and we were like cream cheese, no fat cream cheese. Have you ever tried no fat cream cheese?
No, but isn't it true that in a lot of the no fat and low fat that they put a lot more sugar in that?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a real trick.
Yeah.
You know, like real cream cheese will be like, let's just say 80 calories a tablespoon. I have no idea
Right.
off my head. But then the low fat or no fat will have 70.
I know.
Right.
What?
It's
And
I
now
true.
it tastes like the most horrible thing I've ever had in
know.
my entire life. And it will ruin my food. I would rather have a dollop of real sour cream. Although I use yogurt. Like if I'm having a baked potato, I'll use Greek yogurt. Will you try doing something like that
Yeah,
instead?
yeah.
And then, put some chives, and sometimes I'll even use the bacon bits that's real bacon, not
Real bacon,
not
right.
fake bacon, not even like turkey bacon. How do they make that?
In a
This-
plant.
Right, Jared, in a plant. That's exactly right. So really, you need to have the real stuff. So, and because you're going to eat less. Like if you want Italian table cheese, don't go over to the dairy section. Go to the specialty section and get that good cheese because you will eat less. It's not even a joke at how much you'll eat less. Avoid food that is pretending to be something that it is not. Now, this is the story of this. It's so funny. I went to a picnic. This is years ago with my friend Tom. Go to a picnic, and he wants me to have this turkey burger. Now, this is before I lost 93 pounds, and I was like, I want a cheeseburger. Are you kidding me? And he said, well, just try the turkey burger. And he said, squeeze it so that you get all the juice, right? And I was like, okay, all right, I'll have one. And I had it, and it was really delicious. And I squeezed it, and the roll got all like, juicy. And I was like, wow, I'm going to buy these. Go home. 2 hours later, he calls me, and he says, don't buy those turkey burgers. They're 500 calories apiece. Who knew?
Yeah, right.
Who knew? You think you're doing a really good thing. Even when you're buying turkey, ground turkey, how much fat is it? Sometimes it looks like it's like 50-50.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
So wouldn't you be better off just buying 93% lean since it actually says it? I mean, I'm sure you can find turkey,
That's lean.
ground turkey that's lean. But if it's not, if it doesn't say it on the package, which I don't even believe half the packages anyway, but that's another story. There's all those conspiracies. But, there's 500 calories, and it would have been much better I could have had a cheeseburger.
Right. Right.
Food making healthy claims on the packages
I know.
may reduce cholesterol. Come on. We know better than this. You know what they have? They will say that these are cherry pills,
Right.
right? I bet you there's not one cherry in the entire pill. Like you might take cherry pills for gout. Is there really cherries in in that mixture that's in that pill?
I doubt it.
Probably not. Probably absolutely not. So I don't want to take, I love this little thing that they say, I actually have to read this. Don't take the silence of the yams as a sign that it has nothing of value for your health. The silence of the yams. Oops. So that's one of the ones that I think we should really, if it says, good for this or good for that, I think you should just stay away from it because I don't think it's true. I think a lot of things they've taken off a lot of the supplements out of the pharmacies now. That big long aisle of all those supplements and all those diet weight loss, drinks and stuff like that. They've taken them right out of the store.
Really?
Yeah, they've started to do that. Well, because they don't really have anything of value in them at all. So, So I always think about that turkey burger too. That just is a funny thing to me. Avoid food that is advertised on television. Oh my God, it's no wonder we're so hungry.
All the time.
Cheeseburgers with the juice dripping out. I never bought a cheeseburger that looked like the one on television in my life, even a good one. Did you ever buy a cheeseburger that ever looked like that? You probably didn't. So, if it's making this claim, then the chances are that if it's advertised on TV, it's not good for you. They don't advertise things like apples.
No.
Not even, you don't even see like potatoes being advertised unless they're French fries. But now they have the new pizza. Have you seen the new pizza with the crust of bacon? It's
No.
not enough the crust is filled with cheese. The crust, it's folded over and cheese is inside. Then on the outside is bacon. It's like 40 pieces of bacon in a large pizza.
I never seen that.
Sounds so good.
It does, really. You know what? I don't know. I think of bacon like with eggs.
Oh, honey, everything is good with bacon.
It's true. Everything is good. I love a BLT. But bacon is 70 calories a slice. So even if you had 3 slices, then you had tomato, lettuce.
Right.
It's going to be almost 500 calories. But, if you really want a BLT, you should have it. Because what happens when you don't give in to your cravings?
You overeat on everything else.
You'll-
That's what I do.
You make up for it.
Yeah.
You make up for it. I had a lady one time who she lost 50 pounds. Every week she lost weight. Every single week.
God bless her.
I know. And she got to the 50-pound mark, and her friends wanted to take her out to dinner. So, of course, they wanted to take her out to dinner.
Yeah.
So they told her that she should pick the restaurant. So she picked the restaurant where they had a Thai salad that she knew the calories of. She gets to the restaurant, and she says, she's with her 3 other friends, and it goes, eggplant parmesan, eggplant parmesan, eggplant parmesan. What do you think she said?
Eggplant parmesan.
Eggplant parmesan.
Of course.
Now, she comes back to me the next week, and she's gained weight. She thinks it's the eggplant parmesan. Do you think it was the eggplant parmesan?
No.
No. What do you think it was?
I think that once she started, that was it. It was like,
Yeah,
she was
she
out of
started
control.
making compromised. Yeah, she
She
started
compromised on
compromising.
something that she loved, which was the Thai salad. So all week, she was looking for the Thai salad. She didn't know it. We're really honestly, you can't figure out what's going on in here half the time. But she didn't really realize that. So she ended up trying to fill the pit. And I said, you have to go back to that restaurant and get that Thai salad. Next week, she lost 3 pounds.
Look at that.
Because really, she knew what she was doing. It wasn't like she didn't know. But she needed to have that. So you need to give in to your cravings now and then. So, but let's go back to this, making healthy claims on food. I've seen that may reduce cholesterol.
Right.
Now, you were saying something about cholesterol earlier, right?
Well, I'm not sure what I'm saying. Just the way it gets filtered through your liver. Just people are on it. I forgot what I was saying, but in general, if cholesterol, cuts the fat from your blood vessels, don't you think it cuts it from your brain and other places where fat is?
And
but
that
it's a
you
good
need it.
thing, right?
Right.
So, I don't know.
We could go right into the medicine
Yeah,
again, like
I
we talked
just,
about last
you
week. You could talk about
Yeah.
medication all
I
day
just,
long. And you said a very good thing, Michelle. Tell us about the 95-year-olds. What was the one thing they all had in common?
They didn't take medication
Didn't take
on any kind of
medication.
regular basis.
On any kind of, certainly an antibiotic
once in a while,
now. Yeah, sure.
Aspirin, but not, they did not take medication for the most part. Any person I've asked who's been over 95. I say, "What's your secret?" And they say, "I don't know, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink. Do you take medication? No, I don't take anything."
Wow, that is
That's- yeah,
unbelievable.
that's
They
great.
could be heavy, they could be
Wait a
thin.
minute, they don't drink?
But I mean, again.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
again.
Yeah, but the medication, that's a big one. Um, and never eat any food handed to you through a window. I mean, you might want to get your coffee through a window, but I'm telling you right now, one bagel is 500 calories. It's 5 pieces of bread. And then they put cream cheese on. And I don't care if you tell them to just put a little bit on. How much cream cheese do they put on?
Oh God,
I think it's like a half a package. I think they just cut the package in half and put it on the bagel. So I say avoid any food that is advertised on TV and don't get anything, given to you through the window. One of the places that makes grinders had to stop doing that because in their bread they had to change the bread because they were using a product that you do your deck, you refinish your deck with.
really?
Yeah, in the bread. Now, they said they've taken it out. It was some emulsifier or something. I'm saying, if I'm going to use it on the deck, I'm not eating it. But they did change that, and that was a really good thing. So, and then of course, if you have good food at home, you're going to eat good food. That's what you have to start. Oh, here's one. I really love this one. I wanted to make bran muffins. But, I had bran, which just really looks like sawdust. That's all it looks like is sawdust. So I said, I'll get a carrot cake. I won't use any oil. I won't use any eggs. I'll use sugar-free applesauce, which was just apples. It had no other sweetener. It was just apples. And I'll make this, but I'll put in bran, and I'll spread out that bad carrot cake. But I'm still not going to use oil or egg. And on the outside of the package, when I get home, I'm getting all ready to make it up. It says carrot-like buds. They couldn't even use
Real carrot.
dehydrated carrots. They would only use chemicals. So it was just chemicals, or back to orange chemicals.
Right.
They couldn't use, shredded carrots. Now, wouldn't you think that it would be cheaper to use dried shredded carrots, rather than what? And it's carrot cake. So they're taking the exact thing that's supposed to make it this way. Oh, I heard such a funny story talking about carrot cake. One of the ladies, when you're younger, you really get you're not the best cook. I can't even tell you the things that I made. But she made carrot cake, and she didn't cut up the carrots. She just sort of like stuck it. I thought that was so hilarious. Listen, my first dinner party, and I'm a very good cook, as you will attest.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? But the first time I had a dinner party, I'd never had any processed food growing up. And the first time I had a dinner party, I got the boil in a bag, broccoli and cauliflower and cheese sauce. And I got veal patties that were, ground veal. And I cooked the life out of it, both things, really. And then I served it, and when one of the men went to cut into the veal patty, it shot across the room like a hockey puck. But it wasn't a good meal. Why didn't I just steam some broccoli?
Right.
Why didn't I just, you really need to use real veal if you're a veal eater, And but I was trying to, thinking that this was going to be so smart, and it was nothing like my aunt's veal cutlets. Nothing. Unbelievable. So you have to remember this, and I think it's one of the most important things that you can remember. Every food choice that you make moves you closer or farther away from your weight loss goals? Think about that. Every food choice moves us closer or farther away from our weight loss goals. All right, have a healthy week and do some good shopping. All right.
Thank you.